Good afternoon, channel. We are back with the 32. I have a box of goodies here, and we have the digital dash. Now, a while ago I mentioned I wanted to try and put a JZZ30, so a Toyota Soarer, or an SC300 Lexus digital dash into my 1JZR32. But we have to first pull off this fascia here. Now, the way this dash actually works is everything, or most of the things, are projected from the top here, and they are then bounced off a mirror in behind this that's on a diagonal that then comes forward to make it look digital. Well, it is digital, but I mean, like, it's like a holographic style looking dash because you've got that kind of double aspect. So we're going to pull this off now. So smoked lens protector, clean out the inside, and try and get a bit more leeway on height and length to sneak it past the steering column in the 32. I put it in the car. This is my crappy dash, so ignore the fact that it doesn't have the bottom half to it here, but this is what it'll roughly look like if we can get it to work. Now, how cool would that be if we can get that to work? I don't think that plastic on the top of the dash is going to have to stay there. Well, that, or I'll have to cut out this part here, but even the holes are like kind of close. We're going to try our best to get this to work. And I'm going to pull this apart now and just see what is going to be needed to get that done. This is promising. So, fully extended out and down with the steering, and this will slip in straight behind it, so I don't have to worry about getting my steering wheel off. Dash is just placed in there at the moment. The dash cluster is not too bad, to be honest. Like, I could get it to line up. I just need to cut a couple of things, and that's not bad. The holes at the top here aren't too far off if I am to mount it on a bit of an angle. Ooh, I don't want to drop it though. It's hard to do one-handed. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it or not. Ouch. But up under here we've got the little mounting point for the original dash in here. So if I hack up that little bit there, and then you can see two tabs coming off the top of the dash. Sorry, I'll get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Still have about this much that the dash cluster can sink into the dash. This is roughly where I would sit if I was driving. Alright, one sec. You may or may not be able to see this, but see those two tabs up here and here? So I think they're just for the, like, to secure the original dash cluster in there. So they're nice big long plastic flappy things. I'm going to get the tin snips out and hack them out because they were just supports for the original dash. And then we've got the two clips on this side and on the other side there, which may or may not foul very slightly on the back of that. So I'm going to probably trim them off too because I won't need them. And we'll readjust and see how this goes. But imagine if this works. It's gonna look sick, and I can probably put the holographic faceplate thing back onto it as well. I'm just gonna try and get this sunken more in. Maybe try and line these up. I don't know if it's gonna line up or not, but if it doesn't, that's fine. But if it does, even better. Lucky for me, all of my trims, or the majority of my trims, including my dash itself, are in pretty poor condition. This is already cracked. All these are already haggard. That's, someone's went at that with a screwdriver. This one here always falls out. So It's not a great loss. I lost my buttons. I had to make a button for that one. Yeah, not a great loss for me to hack up this. Again, more broken stuff. Someone was very, very, very rough with this car in this past life, so I'm going to get a little creative with this in the next couple of vlogs, and we're going to change up the interior. I've got some stuff over here that I'll show you in a minute. And we're going to do something about this manky roof lining. It looks like it's had 40 years of smokers in it. Something about this dash that again is not in great nick. In pretty bad condition, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the dash out completely, and I'm going to cut all these brackets out just so we've got some headroom up here. So no matter what, the dash has got room. I may also trim some of the back stuff. This I don't think gets in the way of the plugs, but I can't be 100%, so I want to trim off some of the back of this, and I'm not going to be needing this or any of that either. So trying to open up as much space in here as I can to fit a non-original cluster in the 32 dash. So we have a box of goodies. First things first, we needed these. I don't know if they're going to work properly or not, and it's already halfway too late, but we bought some proper shearers, scissors, shearer, sewing, I don't know, granny scissors. This probably would have helped a lot cutting the carpet and cutting the insulation, not the sound deadening, but I've already done it, so yeah, I bought them anyway. We have a collection of stuff. First things first, let's just get this straight out of the way. We bought some retro wave soundbar looking sparkles, uber sparkles. Look at that. How sick is that? I know, what the hell, it's illegal as hell. How are you going to put that on a dash? It's going to blind you, etc, etc. I never said it was going to be legal. So that's my first bit of material. Not sure where it's going yet. I did have a couple of ideas, but I'll show you in a sec. Let's go through the next bits. Next one, we have what I bought to be intentionally a roof liner. Now I didn't want to go through the pain in the butt of doing proper fiber optics and drilling through my roof lining and then installing a bunch of LEDs and stuff. That is too much time, and I don't have the time or the patience to do that right now, even though I'm doing everything else. But that's a later problem. I just wanted to make this easy. The interior was never meant to be as grandeur as I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to make this thing as eccentric as possible. Like if I've gone to this level where I'm replacing every nut and bolt in this thing, including the motor, including the interior, including the carpet, everything is getting replaced. Like, so what we're going to do is make sure everything is up to a standard that I'm happy with, and it doesn't look mank or track hack thrash. Give it a new lease on life. So I bought this stuff because it looks like galaxies. It's kind of the greeny purpley blue stuff, and it should work pretty well. Being dark, it'll probably hide a lot in the nighttime. And in the daytime it'll just be quite subtle, like it's not going to be in your face like a la example A. So see how it goes, but it is quite heavy, so I don't know how it's going to go sitting on the roof lining. There's the sparkles, so you can see it's quite a majority black. It just has a bit of shine to it, so it should just break up the nutsiness that I'm doing on the interior. And as you guys saw probably about 5 minutes earlier into this vlog, the roof lining is disgusting. It's mank, it's covered in dirt. Anything is better than what it currently looks like. Now we'll go for this guy. I found blue suede stuff. Don't ask me if it's suede, fox, vinyl. I don't know, I think it's vinyl. Fake vinyl. Was it plastic? Plastic, suede, plastic, leather, pleather. I don't know, maybe.
Definitely splastic.
Plastic pleather, that's what we're gonna call it. But it's blue, so it matches the entire blue theme of the car, so including the floor mats, the carpet, and all that other stuff. And what I wanted to do with this is, again, my dash is quite cracked, it's quite damaged, and I want to cover it over. I don't want to sit there and do a full dash resto on that because the dash itself is already in pretty bad condition, and I'd rather probably just rip it out in future and get a new one. So I'm just going to make the best with what I can, and I'm going to clean this one up while I'm modifying the hell out of it to suit what I'm currently doing with the custom instrument clusters and all that other stuff. So we're going to wrap the dash in this blue vinyl, plastic, pleather, leather stuff, and see how that's going to look. You're probably like, why the hell are you going to do that? I'm going for the 280ZX look. Now, if you don't know that car, that is an earlier lineage of ZZ, however you want to say it, but they had a bit of a retro stage where their boxy, the Z31 had a full digital instrument cluster as well. It had all these cool little retro gauges and digits, and it talked to you, and it was really cool. And back in the day, that was like, well, for me, that's the epitome of like retro vibes as hell. That car is freaking cool. However, I couldn't afford a Z31 as well as a 32, and the Z31 is not the best platform to start off with drifting when I have a Skyline straight off the bat. Z31s are great in America. Here, they're very unsupported, very rare, hard to get parts for. Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to go for that and put a bit of a Z touch on my Skyline, because you guys know I've got my 240Z. I like my Zs. I've got 260Zs, I had a 350Z, and I currently have the 400Z on order. Z, Z, whatever. So we're gonna go for that, see how that goes. I don't know how it's gonna look. I'm happy to experiment at this stage. I don't care if it turns out good, I don't care if it turns out cringy. If it's cringe, it's great. It's something the Japanese would do, and it's flair, it's style, it's unique, it's freaking unique, so why not? Let's do it. So, and then we have this guy here. Like, okay, well, what else do we have to cover? We've done the dash, we've got that'll be center console as well, so down the side. We've got the roof, and we got some crazy sparkly disco soundbar stuff, and now we've got crazy purpley pinky sparkles that looks insane. Exactly, it looks insane. So probably gonna do the door card inserts for this one, and I might make a dash mat for this. So I think this is great because it gives me more options. So, and then lastly, we have some aqua teal cherry blossoms. Very silky, looks like pajamas, but very pretty. I like it. So I bought this stuff because the new seats that we're buying aren't exactly what I want. So I'm gonna make them a little better, a bit more custom, a bit cooler, and hopefully they'll get me by in the meantime until I find my dream seats. Now, my dream seats are the Trial Recaro SR3s in purple, which are two-tone like grid purple. I think they're sick, and I would love to get a pair of them for this one day. However, I can't afford $4,500 for seats right at this moment, so I'm going to do the next best thing, and I'm probably going to wrap and customize a pair of other style seats. Don't worry, you can cringe right now, I totally understand. I bought random ass rhinestones and glittery girly freaking things because it's something the Japanese would do. They'd stick a whole bunch of stuff to their dash. They'd have crystals on there, they'd have chandeliers from the roof, they'd have lace doilies on everything. So I'm not necessarily going to use these, but at least I have the option to customize and accessorize. We got some Gorilla Glue. Nothing in here that I need to show you. Apparently it's still in the car. I'll be back. Alright, and these are the last little bits and pieces. We have restocked our anodized base coat and our purple anodized in case we need more, which we are going to. I've just bought a gearbox for this, brand new. However, due to delivery delays, I have to pick it up next week, so I can't show you that yet, but we're going to coat it purple as well. I've used a different type of spray adhesive before on my door cards. It was not great, so hopefully this is better. We'll see. So I'm better off doing something very and I bought this for the door cards, to cover the door cards. Maybe the A-pillar trims, again depending on how hard or how easy they are to trim, and if I'm going to trim them in the blue, pleather, plastic, vinyl, leather, forks, whatever stuff, or if we trim them in the purple, or we go crazy and do them in disco spec and full crazy colours. So, but yeah, that is currently where we're at. I think I have to wait to see how this all goes together in the next one. And the dash. We'll get the dash cluster sorted. You're going to have a lot more progress in the coming weeks on the whole interior. Hopefully we can knock that out of the ballpark, get the gearbox on Monday, start dummy fitting up the gearbox and the motor, throwing them in, and getting the engine mounts and the gearbox mounts done. That way we have our lengths for our tail shaft to send off to get a custom tail shaft made, and then I can start working on my cooling system, see how much room we have to play with at the front and how much clearance for the fans and the radiator, if I'm going to need to V-mount something or if I'm going to need a very custom sized something or other, and the rest of it. And finish off the tubs, paint the bay, get the other turbo on. I need a gasket. I need to get 2 gaskets. Until next time. Peace. Cheers guys. Then we stopped giving them motion sickness.